President Donald Trump announced Friday that Sudan and Israel have agreed to normalize relations, a foreign policy achievement for the incumbent president less than 2 weeks before the U.S. presidential election. Trump made the announcement from the Oval Office while joined on the phone by Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, Sudanese chairman of the Sovereignty Council Abdel Fattah al-Burhan and Sudanese Prime Minister Abdallah Hamdok. According to a joint statement from the three countries, the leaders of Sudan and Israel agreed to the normalization of relations between Sudan and Israel and to end the state of belligerence between their nations, and agreed to begin economic and trade relations, with an initial focus on agriculture. The leaders also agreed that delegations will meet in the coming weeks to negotiate agreements of cooperation in those areas as well as in agriculture technology, aviation, migration issues and other areas for the benefit of the two peoples. The leaders also resolved to work together to build a better future and advance the cause of peace in the region, the joint statement said. Netanyahu said Israeli and Sudanese delegations will meet, soon, to begin discussions on cooperation in various fields, such as agriculture and trade. Palestinian leaders slammed the normalization agreement, with one calling it a serious stab in the back of the Palestinian and Sudanese people. Militant groups in Gaza also voiced their anger. The normalization announcement came shortly after the White House said Trump had informed Congress of his intent to remove Sudan from the state sponsor of terrorism list. The rescission of the 27-year-old designation was widely seen as being tied to the deal with Israel, despite Khartoum's initial desire to keep the issues separate. Speaking from the Oval Office on Friday, Secretary of State Mike Pompeo said the normalization and move to lift Sudan from the state sponsor of terrorism list both have one thing in common: they made sense for the Sudanese people. Pompeo said Sudan did all the things that they needed to do to be removed from the list, and he noted that the U.S. wanted to support the civilian-led government, which was established after Sudan's strongman leader, Omar al-Bashir, was ousted in a military coup in April 2019 after 3 decades in power. The Sudanese leadership is now driving toward a really strong outcome and improved life for the people of Sudan, and we think for the broader region in North Africa as well, he said. Senior government sources in Sudan told CNN earlier this week that the state sponsor of terrorism designation change was a requirement by Hamdok, the leader of the transitional government in Sudan, before talks on normalization could proceed. The designation change was our priority and normalization is theirs, one source said. The Trump campaign has touted the president's foreign policy achievements in the Middle East.